When you want to change, or it's the beginning of a new year, it is so tempting, isn't it, to do more, to do better, to get bigger, to move faster, to change. But what about just making things simpler? What about doing more of what is working and less of what is not working? What if you focused on what you were going to continue doing in order to make this next 12 months one of the greatest years of your life? I mean, you need consistency, right? And a lot of times when we go to set goals, it's about more, better, different, Well, what about what you're going to stop? What about those things that are the backbone of the change that you've already started initiating? Those are just as important as the big, bad, amazing new stuff you're going to do. And so what are the things that you're going to stop doing in the next year of your life? So think about the next 12 months. Let's look ahead on the road of your life. What are you going to stop doing? For me personally, I'm going to stop traveling for work. My life for the last decade has been as a road warrior. I mean, I used to be on the road 150 days a year. I basically missed out on our daughter's high school experience because I was gone. I was working. I was paying the bills. And over the past 2 years, I have become more and more and more committed to getting off the road and being home more. And I'm doing it. So I'm going to stop accepting speaking engagements. There's a handful that I'm willing to do if they meet certain criteria, but typically at this time of year, I would be fully booked a year ahead. There were years where I would have 120 speeches booked for the 12 months ahead. Not this year. Last year, I don't know, I did 25 maybe. You know how many I've agreed to this year? 1. February. The MGM Arena, Keller Williams. Let's go. 10,000 of you. We're going to crop dust that place with motivation and tactical advice. However, I'm going to stop saying yes. I'm going to stop saying yes to these opportunities. I'm also going to stop saying yes to all the people that come at us and want us to create content for them. And I'm going to focus on the project that are ours. So that's one thing that I'm going to stop doing. Complaining about my body, complaining about my hormone changes, complaining about how stubborn it's been to try to figure out how to be healthy, complaining about hot flashes. I need to stop. I need to stop doing that, and I need to have a different relationship with where I'm at with my hormones and where I am with my body. What are you going to stop doing in the area of health and wellness? What are you going to stop doing? Career, money, school. Maybe you need to stop complaining about your job and show up differently. Maybe you need to stop complaining about the lack of money that you have and start showing up differently around it. Maybe you need to stop complaining about relationship, love, and friendship and create a different relationship. Fun and happiness, purpose, spirituality, and meaning. These 5 categories. What are you going to stop doing? And stopping doing something, that can lead to massive transformation in your life. We've talked about that a lot. Sometimes it's more effective to stop doing something than it is to constantly focus on the new thing that you're going to do. In some cases. And so I want you to really, really go deep on this question. That brings us to question number 5. What do you want to continue doing this year? I love this question because when you make goals never prompt you to think about, well, what am I going to keep doing that's working? This question is so important because it gets you out of that whack-a-mole thing. You know how you can get into these phases in your life, or at least I do, where like I'm super focused on fitness. And so I focus on fitness. And then I ignore my relationship with Chris. Or I'm super focused on getting out of debt. And then I ignore the fact that I need to carve out time for happiness. And so when you also take the time to answer question number 5, what are you going to continue doing in the next year of your life? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to continue doing. I'm going to continue using my let them theory. I love letting people have their emotional reactions and not managing them. I love letting people just show me who they are so I can figure out what I'm going to do in response. I love not being responsible for managing everybody else's emotional meltdowns and reactions and tantrums and childhood wounds and all that crap that we're all dealing with, and just let people be human. Let them have their reactions. aspirations, and I love the feeling of peace and control that it gives me in my life. And the final question that's going to help you create one of the best years of your life next year. What are you going to start doing when it comes to health and wellness? Thanks to Dr. G, who did the muscle-centric medicine episode with us, I am going to be strength training 3 days a week, period, full stop. Another thing that I'm going to start doing, you're going to love this. I'm going to start writing my next book, which is The Let Them Theory. That's right. I'm doing a whole book on it, and it's going to be incredible. I'm excited for it. I bet you're going to be excited for it too. Another thing I'm going to start doing is I'm experimenting with an entirely new way of working. I mentioned earlier that I'm stopping down the work travel. Way too much work travel last year, so I'm taking it seriously this year to change that. And we're trying out this experiment where our team has 1 week on, where we do productions together in our new studio space in Boston, and then 1 week off, not like off, you're not working, but off, you are in the deep pocket doing the deeper work to get all the stuff that we did during the other week across the finish line. And I think that rhythm could be really, really cool. I'm going to start also getting aggressive about saving money again. We moved up to southern Vermont, as you probably know, and we did a renovation project up here. And like most everybody that does a little home renovation project, we went a little over budget. And I might have gone a little over budget on our new studio build out in Boston, you know. But now that our daughters are both out of college and our house project and our studio project in Boston is done, I really want to start focusing again on saving money and investing in startup companies again. And I want to remind you about something. Don't forget that starting also includes starting something that you used to do. Something that you used to do in the past. You can start it up again. Maybe you need to start listening to music again. You know how you used to love to create playlists and you always had music going in the house? Maybe that's something you want to take on this year. Maybe you want to start playing your guitar again, or playing the piano again, or maybe you want to start traveling again. Even if you don't have the money to go on some big fancy pants trip, maybe it's just taking day trips and exploring where you live and going to new places. Or maybe it's time to start cleaning out your social media accounts again. You know, I'm a huge fan of what I call Unfollow Friday, and making it a point every week to align your social media accounts, the input, with accounts that match what you want the coming year to look like. Like, imagine that. Imagine if your social media didn't make you feel bad. Imagine if you took the time to align all the input you get on social media to match what you want to do more of this year. How cool would that be? Or maybe you want to start wearing your hair short or long again, or maybe you want to start speaking French again. You know, you used to speak fluent French, but you haven't done it in 10 years. And so you want to really brush up on the language again. So again, what do you want to start doing? You want to start being more visible at work? You want to start taking classes to up-level your skills? Go through every one of the 5 areas of your life and identify what you want to start doing before you drive ahead and before you set new goals and benchmarks for yourself. I want you to take the time to figure out where you are exactly beyond your emotional state. I do this ritual all the time. It's the 6 questions I asked myself that made me finally go, that's it. I'm going to start doing the podcast. That's it. I'm going to stop making excuses. I'm going to continue doing the things that make me successful, but by God, I'm going to start this podcast. And so please bookmark this episode. Please share this with your friends and family. And I want you to do it together. It's such a great exercise to do with your family and with your friends because it will make you feel more connected. And speaking of connected, now that I've gone through these 6 questions and I've glanced at my photos and I've kind of thought about the last year, I feel like my Google Maps just connected. I feel like I got a sense of direction. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to dig into this exercise for real. And I cannot wait for you to do the same thing, to print out your journal, to write down your answers, to go through your phone and your calendar, to unearth all that wisdom, and to truly chart a course for yourself for the coming year that really matters and speaks to you. I do believe that this next year could be the best year of your life. I do believe that some of the people that you will love deeply in your life, you haven't even met yet. They're waiting for you in the next 12 months. I do believe that all of the things that you want deeply in your heart and the things that you learned, when you get serious about what you're going to start doing and stop doing and continue doing, you can make it happen.